We are live. We are live. We are live. I don't know how I'm going to like this because I need to sit back so I can see. Because if I come close like this, I won't see my comments. But you know the drill. I'm just waiting to make sure I am seen and heard. So somebody just tell me, yep, Tej, we can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? That's all I need to know. Somebody comment and let me know you're good. And we're going to get into this. J. Marie says, you're the first one here, Patrice. So I'm just making sure it gets caught up till y'all can tell me that you can hear. Can see and hear. All right. So I am T.J. Mercer. I'm known on most days. I'm known as the walking exclamation point and the chief noisemaker of the Media Mavericks Academy, where I teach authors, experts, coaches, and entrepreneurs how to book themselves in the media without a publicist and without being a celebrity. But since this lockdown, I've kind of earned the moniker, the Bingo Boss. And because of divine assignment, I found myself hosting epic nights of bingo, where my team, my bingo squad and I did 4 nights of bingo in June, exclusively for the 2020 grads of HBCUs, to the tune of $1 million. Actually, it's over $1 million, which we raised in less than 4 weeks. And so that ended the last Saturday in June. And so for the last 2 weeks, I kind of been in recovery. And this week, on Sunday, God told me, in so many words, he wanted to have a chat. But he told me that I needed to gear up for spiritual battle. Hey, Melissa. Hey, J. Marie. Patrice, thanks for sharing, sunshine. He told me that he needed me to gear up for spiritual battle. And this one will be unlike anything I've ever done because my destiny was at stake. If I didn't get right, if I didn't get with him, and if I did not follow his instructions. And so starting Monday, I started a water fast. I have never done a water fast more than 24 hours, but this time I did it for 5 straight days of nothing but water, lots of prayer and scripture time. And if you've ever done something like that on that level, then you know it's a whole different ball game when you talk to God. It's a whole different. So towards the middle of the week, something had happened in my family, and he dropped in my spirit. I was looking at it from one perspective, and he came and dropped. Before you get all holier than thou, I need some time with you so we can deal with you. Like, that can't go well. Andrew says my lips are popping. And so, let me just say this. The things that he dealt with in me, that y'all know I'm transparent, and at some point he's going to release me to really get raw and transparent and open to deal with it. It's not appropriate yet, but the things that he dealt with me moved me to tears and broke me completely. Like, completely. And I was so convicted and so devastated. Basically, I had kicked a person out of my life prematurely. And God was like, I didn't tell you could release them. And I need you to go back and look at you. You made this decision really without consulting me. So we're going to go back and deal with you. And woo, yeah. Let's just say, yeah, I had to do some things to make amends that I honestly did not want to do. On some levels, I didn't even think it was fair. And, but when I finally obeyed, there was a tremendous relief off of me, because I knew, if nothing else, that I had been obedient and I couldn't be caught up in, but what if, And how come they, it's like, no, Teach, God is dealing with you. With you. Doesn't matter what nobody else does, with you. And I've taught before that at the end of the day, when we stand before God and we want to stand, come on, Jesus, we want to stand there with our own excuses about why we didn't do what God told us to do. He's not gonna, and we sitting there explaining, but God, and he's gonna say, yeah, I hear all of that, but what did I tell you to do? Just like any parent, you left your kids with their little friend. You had told your kids, do not get in that swimming pool. Do not get in that swimming pool. And they got in the swimming pool. For whatever reason, you didn't want to get them in the swimming pool. And they trying to come, because let's say like little girls, black girls, we had just got our hair done. Our parents have just played for our hair. And so your mother tells you, do not get in that swimming pool because I cannot afford to get your hair done again. But then little Susie and jumped in the swimming pool, and you jump in the swimming pool too. Soon as you get home and you start explaining what Susie said, and she wanted me, and your mama's gonna be like, yeah, I hear all of that. I know what Susie did, but you ain't Susie. I told you. So what did I tell you to do? That was me and God. Like, he shut that down. What did I tell you to do? So totally broke everything in me. And I still have a lot of growth to go. I'm not out of that. And like I said, at one point, I'm sure God is going to release that, because that's what he uses my life for. But I was standing in Target today, and it was like, okay, God, I don't need to hear no more. I got it. Like, dude, okay, I thought we had dealt with that. So I'm standing in Target, waiting to return something. And I have my mask on because Atlanta, we are on strict orders that anytime we're in a public place, we have to wear our mask. Hey, LaTracy, Anita, I think I saw Julie here. I'm not sure who else I didn't speak to. But we're in a public place, so I got my mask on. And so I'm, patiently waiting. There's like 3 people in front of me. And I'm patiently waiting, my turn. And, I'm standing there kind of in my head, and I sense my breathing. And I started being present of taking deep breaths and exhaling. But because I got my mask on, the breath that I'm exhaling is coming back at me. So I can feel the warmth of my breath coming back on my face. And I noticed the sensation of it. So I'm looking around and I go, okay, so without my mask, I'm not feeling the breath that's coming back on me, because my breath is being spread out and dissipated into the atmosphere that I'm in. And whatever atmosphere that I'm in, whether I'm in Target or whether I'm in Walmart or whether I'm in Kroger's or whether I'm in heck, I don't shop, Best Buy, my favorite store, wherever I am, because I'm doing my natural thing of inhaling and exhaling, I'm leaving parts of me there. But we can't see it with our natural eye. And so what God showed me is like, what are your words doing? Every time you speak, you're leaving parts of you where you are. Every time you open your mouth and interact with somebody, you're leaving parts of you where you are. Now, here's where he got me. You didn't notice it until you were forced into a position where your breath is coming back at you. Now, would you want the words that you have been putting out into the atmosphere coming back at you? Whoa, let me tell you something. I had to gather myself real quickly up in Target. I had to gather myself real quickly when I started thinking about the amends I had to make and the things I had done to this person, things I had said, that I'm like, my words would be totally different if I thought about how they are coming back at me. If I'm forced into a position to think without that mask around my ears, what would my words look like if I knew that the words are going to come back immediately back on me? That changed the whole game for me. That hurt me so hard. I was like, you know what? I ain't sitting on this by myself. This has got to go to my Facebook people, because if I'm in trouble, we sitting there together. We will be sitting there like, God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You sorry, Andrea? Yeah, I'm sorry. You sorry, Patrice? Yeah, we sorry. I ain't going to be by myself. And so I want you to think about what this even looks like on social media. So Monday, I had just watched the video of the young black man being beaten by a group of racists while his 4 other friends watched. And uncharacteristic of me, I unleashed. Like, it was like, I can't take no more. And I went ziggly boom and wrote a post. That night, I found out that CBS was going to be airing my story on CBS. And fortunately, I sent it to one of my best friends, and he called me and he was like, yo, listen, you got to take that post down. And I was like, why? I meant every word I said, because we have been nice. And this is still happening. And these people, those 4 white people sat there and watched that dude get beat, and none of them jumped in. It's like, if that were his group of his black friends, it would have been an all-out brawl. Like, we would have been scrapping. And my friend was like, I hear you. And he said, what you don't want to happen is your timeline is always filled with some kind of sunshine or some kind of truth. You don't want this story out there. And your first experience with people, new people that are going to be finding you, to be this. Because it will overwrite the tens of thousands of posts that you've written over the last few years of lifting people up and putting encouragement out there. And so when he said that, I had to think about, he's right. New people are not going to spend time getting to know the TJ before she got to this level of anger and rage. You know, they're going to just see this. She lost her mind, not understanding this has been an escalation. And typically, 99% of the time, my posts are always to bring you love, joy, laughter, and learning. That's it. But when I saw that video, I had it. And so in retrospect, I'm thinking, I want to make sure that every time I utter, which is why a lot of times as many of you who like, okay, when you going to go live, when you going to go live, when you going to go live, why I've always been concerned about, but I got to have something to say, because I've always been aware of my words and what, and the responsibility that I carry, because so many of you open your heart to me. And I know that it's important for me to constantly pour into you. And so if I don't feel like I have anything of value to say, I just keep quiet. But God was showing me today, it's like, yeah, you put that much energy into thinking about the strangers around you, but what about the people who you claim you love the most? Are your words that are going out, now that you see all your words got to come back? Man, let me tell you something. That I almost broke out into tears crying. Fortunately, I got called right after I feel like God can be so petty sometimes, because he dropped that nugget. And as I was close to just breaking, the lady called my name. Well, not my name, but she told me next. And so I had to gather myself. And so I didn't get to lose it completely. But if you think about that, how would we walk around in this space? Like, if we really had to think about our words coming back at us, just like our breath does in this mask, like God, and I remember sitting there going, God, has this been a whole point of us to get more sensitive of how we treat each other? That you put us in a situation where we gotta wear masks So, you know, I'm sure I'm not the only one who has picked up this nugget. I'm sure it's floating around there somewhere because I ain't that deep in, you know, what I think. So I'm sure this lesson is floating out there, or it's going to get out there. Somebody else has come to that same revelation that the breath that we're exhaling, the energy that we're exhaling is the same thing that's coming back to us. And it can't go in 50 million directions. It's targeted to come right back on us. So the next time you're out there, you got to wear your mask, just take about 30 seconds and be in tune to your breath. And just catch that. Heck, after I get off, after we say goodnight, go put it on. Don't wait. Go put it on. And just sit there for 30 seconds breathing. And just see how sensitive that air is coming back on your face. That air is coming at you. And then just think about all the words that you have spouted to people, that you didn't see the impact of it. And just like, you know, the breath that is dissipating in the air, in the case of they say that we're, you know, we spit or something when we talk, that stuff is landing somewhere. We just don't always see it. It's landing. So what is it landing on? What are your words landing on? The place that is landing, is it making that surface better? Is it enhancing that surface? You putting out, I don't like you. I don't want to be bothered with you. You aren't good enough. One thing that baffles me about social media, I don't know who this football player is. I have no clue who he is. But the other day, either yesterday, I think, or the day before, he was trending because he made a statement, how could anybody find Jill Scott attractive? That is the most baffling thing to me. That is the most baffling thing to me about social media. Ain't nobody ask you. You just randomly put out their negativity about another human being. And people really ask you, like, who you? Like, we don't know you. And somebody saw a post that said, we had to go Google you, but ain't nobody had to go Google Jill Scott. So, but it's just like stuff like that happens on social media is fascinating to me. That people will write mean, negative posts just for the sake of writing mean, negative posts. And I wonder if they would write that post if they knew it was coming directly back at them. Like immediately. Like, would they be so quick? And I'm checking myself because I just told you I got in trouble, and then I wrote that post on last Monday. So I'm checking myself. So this ain't, you know, TJ pointing a finger at you. Actually, it's TJ don't want to be her little feelings hurt by herself. So she want to know that y'all in trouble too. So that's the kind of kid I was. I don't want to be in trouble by myself. But if we would just take a minute and know that whatever we say is immediately coming back at us, how would we operate? How differently would we navigate? How more discerning would we be? How much more judicious would we be with our words? How much more, and I'm speaking to myself, okay, God, I hear you. How much more would we sit with our emotions before we react to a situation? How much more would we wait to actually converse with the person that we're at odds with so that there could be a mutual understanding before we spout off stuff that could hurt? Because it feels better because we're in our emotions and our feelings are hurt. Our heart is broken, but it feels better to go ahead and spout off. How much longer would we wait to react if we knew that in a millisecond of it being out, bam, it's hitting yourself back in the face? Would you slow down? Would you take that deep breath? Because you can't handle what you dishing out. What's that old expression? Don't write a check that you can't cash. I think that we would withhold writing a whole bunch of checks if we knew that our words were coming right back at us immediately. So, with that said, Go put your mask on. Sit with it for 30 seconds. Slow, just do natural breathing so that you can see for yourself how quickly your breath comes back on you. And then think about, do you want that same thing to be your reaction when you put your words out into the atmosphere where it can land to hurt people? Do you want your words to be words of love and affirmation and uplifting if you knew that it was coming right back at you? All right? So, that's all I got. That's what I wanted to share. So who else got it? Tell me before we go. I'm going to count down. So who else just got in trouble? Oh, yes, Patrice. Thank you for reminding me, because that's what I was actually going to say that. Patrice says, and that includes how you speak about yourself, especially how you speak about yourself. What are you putting out there that you're telling yourself about you? Are you out there saying that you're not enough? You're not going to be able to live up to? Or are you saying, I am fearfully and wonderfully made in God's image? I am more than a conqueror. And when he made me, he broke the mold. So, all right, Jamila saying ouch. Who else got to say ouch? Who got to say ouch? In 10. Take this time to tell me anything you want me to know. Ask me any questions. I got time. I'm still kind of on semi-vacation. My semi-vacation ends when I wake up tomorrow, because I got to get back in the lab. So if you got questions for me, this is the time to ask me my thoughts on something. I'll give you my honest to God truth. So in 10, we just had to go and pick up a switch. I love that, Jamila. I love that. 9, I'm so glad to see you guys. I love you. For all of you who have been rocking with a sister and who've been loving, a sister through this transformation. There's some of you who've been there since day one of just really watching. And I'll say this, what hit me the other day, the reason why, and I've said it, I'm going to say it again. Charlene says she in trouble. I'm glad. We all sit on the timeout bench. I can just see us like all just lined up next to each other with our little legs dangling. Like, okay, we on timeout because that hurt. I can't walk. My toes hurt from being stepped on. Melissa says my toes hurt, my head hurt, my back hurts, everything. You stepped all over me. Kim says ouch. But what I want to say is, I love when I see people say, you make moves in silence, you make moves in silence. And I always thought that was weird, because I ain't called to be moving in silence. The thing that God has assigned me to do next, I'm going to take you on a journey as much as possible, because for me, God has told me I need my people to see what I can do. Like, I think I shared this on a prior live, that one day I asked him, God, when you had me start bingo, you told me just $100. And I was like, I could have afforded to do more, but he just told me $100. But what he was showing me, I asked him later on, after we had raised the $1 million, after we had raised over the $1 million in cash and prizes, I was like, God, why did, you took me from $100 to over $1 million, but why did you tell me, Kim says I'm in the corner. Simonia, yeah, you may be a little nervous about the replay. But why, God, did you take me from $100 to $1 million? Why, you didn't want me to invest $1,000? And he said to me, because I needed my kids to see what I can do with very little. I want my kids to see that this wasn't you. There's nothing you can do. I know you thank your team, but at the end of the day, this ain't you, and you're gonna let people know this ain't you. You didn't do this. I moved on your behalf. I made this happen. So you can't take credit for this. My people will get to see how big of a God I am by watching you. That's why you have to take them on the journey, because some people are watching you so closely. And I got a message the other day, I meant to share it, that she has watched me for a long time and is enjoying watching me transition and build this thing because it's inspiring her. That's why I'm loud with my hashtag Watch God Work. If you ever want to see me announce something that God has done, just look up the hashtag watch God work, because I'm taking you on the journey as he's moving. Some of you have been with me from day one, before I was TJ and being out there and writing books. So you've watched this transition. And so now on this next thing, I'm going to take you on this transition so that when God tells you to do something crazy that you feel unqualified for, you feel uneducated for, you feel like, okay, God, I think you probably missed the person you really want to do this. You chosen me because do you know that I'm a creative? I'm not a left brain thinker. So there's no way I can do this thing that you calling me to do. And God is like, no, honey, I'm calling you. And that means you're going to have to trust me. And that's going to keep you close to me. And you're going to have to trust me for every step. You're going to have to be on your knees constantly praying. You're going to have to be fasting and praying, because the thing that I'm calling you to do is so big that you wouldn't even think about it on your own. You wouldn't even fathom this. This is my assignment for your life. But here's the thing. You got to build it loud and take them as much as you can on the journey, because I got other stuff to do in their lives. I've got other stuff I need to build in their lives. And if they don't watch you do it, they're not going to have the faith to do it. Where I'm getting ready to take you is trails that have not been blazed. But I have lit your blowtorch, and you're going to blaze this trail so that it can leave footprints for somebody else to follow. So no, you're not allowed to make moves in silence. There's some moves that you're going to have to make that has to be loud, because people are going to have to see what I do in your life. So they can say, if God did it in TJ's life, I know I always tease that I'm God's favorite, and I am, but the reality is I am no different than Monica. I'm no different than Patrice. I'm no different than Kim. I'm no different than Pam. God loves you. God loves you so much. And so he will get his glory. He will get his glory out of it. And so I have to be loud in how I get down. I can't be timid, and I can't play down what he's done for me. I was telling a friend today, one of my friends is a writer on All American, and we hadn't talked in a couple of years. So we got to catch up today and just bring each other up on what we've been doing in life. And she I don't know what she asked me about just how I so boldly, have navigated Hollywood and, what I do now, and still talk about Christ and my faith. And I said, I didn't realize that was something that I wasn't supposed to do. Because if you're going to get TJ, I do it so seamlessly because he's in my DNA. And my audience gets to choose whether they want all of TJ or they can't handle the Jesus girl. So they either got to believe, they have to be okay with me believing what I believe and accepting that if you're going to rock with me or not. They get to choose. But what I can't do is separate. It's like trying to tear a piece of paper apart from the front and the back. It ain't just gonna happen. It's in my DNA. Jesus and I are inseparable. Sometimes I think he'd be like, TJ, I need a break. Can you go to a timeout? I need a break from you. But I'm called to be bold. I'm called to be loud. I'm called to be out there. I am not timid. Not when it comes to my love for Jesus. And if you want the truth of who I am, this is who you gonna get. Pretty much. So it's my job to not make my moves in silence. Some of them, of course, yeah. I mean, there are things that God is going to, for legal reasons or, things that he's making happen behind the scenes that I can't tell you about. Andrew said, who said they were crying? Who was that? TJ Mercer, you're going to make me cry on this Sunday. Oh, Monica, welcome to the crying club. Yeah, but I ain't cried today. Give me some credit. I ain't cried today because I'm fired up today. And I did what God told me to do. So there's a joy in me right now knowing that, I did what God told me to do and the rest is in his hands. And I'm just waiting for further direction on what he wants me to do next. So I started the countdown. Did anybody have any questions? Wait, did anybody have any questions? Anybody have a question? Because I want to make sure. I got time today, so I'll answer any question. Patrice said, did you delete that post? You talking about the post of my rant? Yes, I deleted it when he told me to. And yes, this is the first time really watching your lives, and just wow, confirmation and truth. Well, welcome, Latara. Welcome. I don't do them often. But when I do them, know that it's something that God has actually impressed upon me to do. Patrice has been with me from Tawan to TJ to the Bingo Boss to the Dreamlighter. Yup, that's true. Hey, Drip. Oh yeah, David, you and I got almost 30 years watching since we were at Howard together. Okay. Latera said, yes, that's my story. God told me to be transparent and share my journey because he wants people to see him at work in life, not for me to brag, but to show and prove the glory of God. Yes. Yes. Okay, so I don't see any questions. So I don't know. I don't know where I was. Kiva! Hey, Kiva. Yes, Kiva lived across the hall from me at Howard. So Kiva was one of my day ones too. Lysandra said, we are crying. I thought it was just me. No, it ain't just you, but I ain't crying today. Y'all crying. All right. I think that's it. I don't know where I was in my countdown. Jamila says, I need to learn who you are. I just know of you through Andrea. What you see is what you get, Jamila. What you see now ain't no different if you met me in public. I ain't got good sense. Really, this is who I am. Patrice said, did you cut your hair? Nope. It's Neva did it, and she got it. You know how Neva, she got it all wrapped up some kind of way. All right, where was I? 7? I don't know. We're going to start at 7. 6. Latera says, thank you. Blessings on your journey. That was so good and on time for me. Good, Latera. Good. 6. Oh, while I'm here, I'm launching my nonprofit project Dreamlight, which is Make-A-Wish, but for adults, and they don't have to have life-threatening diseases. We showed through HBCU Bingo that we legit greenlight dreams. We do. So we are beginning to lay the foundation. We are getting ready to lay the foundation of Project Dreamlight. So if that mission resonates with you, especially if you watch me build HBCU Bingo and watch me build the squad that actually helps me run HBCU Bingo, then shoot me an email. Andrew, can you hit him? Can you hit him? Hi there at tjbingonight.com. Andrew's going to Andrew or Patrice, one of them is going to drop the link in the chat for me. So I'm getting ready to start doing that, but let me just put that disclaimer out there, just like I did for building the bingo night. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I really don't. I'm trusting God to show me every step of the way. I told them that we're building the plane as we fly it, and that's exactly what we did. So if you're looking for an organization that's well structured and well organized, this ain't the time for you to join it, because I'm in a season, or I'm in a space where God is grooming me and stretching me and giving me a new skill set, because I've never done anything like this before. So just know that you are going to have to bear with me as I become the leader that God is building me to being. But if the mission sets something off in your spirit, then shoot me an email, hi there at tjbingonight.com. I may not respond immediately, but I'm just collecting emails all in one place so that I know where to go when we're ready for that segment of the project. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, any more questions? Where was I? Did I get to 5? 4? Hey, Shook. We done? 3? We done? I love y'all to pieces. I'm telling y'all, God, please don't ever take for granted the appreciation that I have for you appreciating me and all of who I am and what God has created. Y'all are part of my band of misfits that God has assigned to me, because we crazy enough to think that we can change the world. We are just crazy enough to think that we can change the world. No, Andrew Patricia, like start back at 10. Why? So I can give. Does anybody have anything else? Okay, I'll count. I'll do a fast count so that I'll give you time to get your questions in or say whatever you need to say to me. In 10, 9, 8. Yes, I am absolutely loved. I feel it. I thank you. Please know I don't take y'all for granted at all. I do not take you for granted. What I say? 8. Wait, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I love y'all. All right, see you later. Till the next time. Bye.